Hey, good day, folks. Hope you're buckled in and ready to take this little trip around the city of Eutaw, Alabama. Eutaw, Alabama is located in Greene County. It's over on the western part of the state of Alabama. And I forgot to do something, but I'll get to that in a minute here. Typically, I have some notes of how far it is from larger communities, but I'll do that towards the end of the video, or I'll just put it in the description. But anyways, Eutaw, Alabama. You know what? I'm gonna do that right now because I'm gonna do that right now. Give me a second. Alrighty, Eutaw, Alabama is going to be 35 minutes south of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And the population of Eutaw is 2,890 people. And this town is losing people at a rate of 9% as of the 2020 census. Now, if you would like to live here, housing prices, fortunately, are relatively affordable. The median home price is only $150.
For nearly 50 years, Roe versus Wade.
Give me 1 second here. Turn off all that crap.
Wade was the law of the land. And we had the constitutional right.
The median home price, as I was trying to tell you guys, is $103,000. And however, the cheapest home you're going to find right now is going to run you $120,000. And there's not a whole lot of houses available right now at this particular moment for sale. I only saw 9 houses on Realtor.com that were for sale currently. Now maybe there could be more for sale than what's on Realtor.com. That's very possible. You'll just have to get with your local realtor and find all that out for yourself. Now, if you're looking to rent prices are going to run median rent prices are going to run $640 to $1,080 a month. And when it comes to the crime, the crime numbers are not exactly all that good. I mean, they're not the worst, but they're definitely not anything to write home about. Violent crime is 2.8 times above the national average. That's almost triple the national average. That ain't good at all for a community this small. Property crime is 21% above national average, which, that's not the best, but it's definitely not the worst. My main concern would be the violent crime here. I mean, for a community this small, your violent crime numbers shouldn't be almost triple the national average. So anyways, Eutaw was incorporated on the 2nd of January in 1841. Oh, wow. Well, let me back up. Let me back up here. I forgot to tell you guys the racial demographics. The racial demographics here are going to be 20% white, 78.9% black, and 1.3% Hispanic. Okay. Now that I got all those basic pieces of information covered, now let's get to some other information about this community. Now, this community does have quite a bit of history, which some of you may find interesting. I found some of it interesting, so let's go through it. For starters, Eutaw was incorporated on the 2nd of January of 1841. The city named in honor of the Battle of Eutaw Springs, the last engagement of the American Revolutionary War in the Carolinas. Eutaw was developed as the trading center for Greene County due to the town being in the county seat. The economy was based on cultivation and cotton processing. Now, this community, of course, does have a dark past, a very dark past, as many communities throughout the South are going to have. Well, really, many communities in the United States are going to have. But anyways, let's keep it pushing. Many deletions were carried out by the Klan in Eutaw during the Reconstruction era. In 1868, the county courthouse was burned in attempt to destroy the records of around 1,800 lawsuits that were filed by the freemen against the planters. Now, I'm pretty sure you guys know what freemen are, and I'm pretty sure you guys know who the planters are. Now, for some of you that may not know that may not know that terminology, freemen are at the time the newly freed slaves, and the planters, many of them were ex-slave masters. They were the ones that owned the land, and they're planters. Self-explanatory. So moving forward, Alexander Board, the Republican county solicitor, was shot and deleted on the 31st of March of 1870 by a group of Klansmen at his hotel when he resisted during the Klansmen attempts to kidnap him. Other people in Greene County that were deleted by the Klansmen were James Martin, a black Republican leader who was deleted at his home in Eutaw, Alabama, which is also located in Greene County. 2 more black Republicans were deleted in the fall of 1870 in Greene County during a Republican rally that was held in the Eutaw downtown square on the 25th of October of 1870. That 2,000 black Republicans attended, 54 attendees, and all these people were black. 54 attendees were wounded, and 4 attendees were deleted by some of the white residents. The use of violence and intimidation against blacks continued in the post-Reconstruction era, and many lynchings took place throughout the state of Alabama. Well, that should be no surprise. As of 2015, there has been no lynchings reported in Greene County during the post-Reconstruction era, reported by Equal Justice Institution, which I don't believe that for 2 cents. Because we live in a country where they can choose to report stuff, they can choose not to report stuff. We all know that. So let's keep it pushing. Now Greene County's main economy to this day is still agriculture, due to the different machinery being purchased. Due to the different machinery that has been purchased over the last 100 or so years. there's not as much of a need for people to be hired on to do farm work, because a lot of the work that's done today in agriculture are done by machines. So due to the fact that there's not as much of a need for people to work on the farms, this is going to be the reason why today the unemployment rate here in Greene County is so high. Now, moving forward, James Beeville was buried at the Ancestors Village Cemetery in Eutaw on the 29th of December 2008 at the age of 72. And as an African American, obviously I gotta take my hat off to this man. I really do. I mean, first and foremost, rest in peace to James Beeville. I mean, he done work for the Civil Rights Movement, the Nashville Student Movement, the Mississippi Movement, directed the strategies for the 1963 Birmingham Children's Crusade, participated in the organization of the Selma to Montgomery March, and the Chicago Open House Movement of 1966. Now, obviously, there is more history about that man, but for the sake of this video, I just kind of abbreviated it. Now, Eutaw is the home of the old. It is the home of the Old Crow Medicine Show band. A band that is real known for the song Big Time in the Jungle. The band released an album in 2001 titled Eutaw, as well as the town's name being referred in the song Don't Ride That Horse. And also the Jaws of Satan film took place here in Eutaw in 1981. And now is the time for me to, this is going, in my opinion, this is going to be the fun part of the video. And one of my favorite parts of these videos is for me to give you guys my 2 cents about this community, and rather not I would move here and all that good stuff. Now, I will say one good thing about this community, in my opinion, it's not too far from Tuscaloosa. And I say that for the purpose of employment opportunities. Now, granted, Tuscaloosa is not the largest economy. And given that Tuscaloosa is a college city, they're not going to have the best or highest paying jobs, not even in accordance to Alabama standards. But for those who want to live here in Eutaw and you can't find a job a little closer to your house, you can always drive into Tuscaloosa and find something. Now, of course, a main down point about living here, in my opinion, is the fact that it's further away from larger cities. I mean, the closest larger city to here is going to be Birmingham, which is going to be well over an hour from here. In fact, let me look it up real quick. Yeah, to get to Birmingham from here, you're looking at an hour and 18 minutes. Now, I know a lot of you are not going to want to drive an hour and 18 minutes each way to work every day. Now, from what I understand, there's people that live on the West Coast that do drive that do make those type of commutes every day because housing prices over there are so expensive. But my thing is, if you're gonna move to Alabama, there is absolutely no need to drive that far anywhere. That's ridiculous. That's insane. This is Alabama. This ain't California or some stuff like that. But anyways, yeah, that's gonna be one of the main downers of this city, in my opinion, is the far drive to work. If it's a far drive to a bigger city, I mean. And I would also say the crime here is not the best. And I would also say, this city does have parts where, this city does have decent looking parts, but this city also has a few parts that are, they're a little rough. They look a little rough around the edges. As you guys look at parts of downtown, there's parts of downtown that, in my opinion, look a little rough. So I would say this town can also use a little bit of a facelift. That, and get some of the crime here under control. I would say if the leaders of this community were able to accomplish those two things, this could be a better place for somebody to live. I'm not saying this is a bad place to live. I'm just saying it could be better. Given the fact that this community has lost almost 10% of its population, to me that's saying something. That's just letting you know that something here is not right. But as I would say about many of these Western Alabama communities, I would say one of the biggest disadvantages of places like this is the fact that you're over an hour from a larger metro area. I would say that is a significant contributing factor to some of the poverty that you see throughout many parts of West Alabama. So I would say for someone that wanted to move here, my suggestion would be to have a job already lined up and ready to go before you get here. Or B, have something lined up and ready to go and already be, and already be doing remote work. So like if you do remote work and you're wanting to move to Eutaw, Alabama, my suggestion would be to already be doing remote work and be doing it for at least maybe 3 or 4 months before you move here. Now, granted, in many of these smaller communities, you can always make a little bit of money by junk removal or cutting people's yards. There are people that do that. So if you own a truck and some lawnmowers, you can do that. So there's definitely opportunities out here to start up your own business if you got an entrepreneurial mindset. But for those of you that just work a 9-to-5 storefront type of job, I would say to dot your I's, cross your T's before you move here. Now, for me, this wouldn't be my cup of tea. Now, as far as a place to live, for me, this town would not be my cup of tea. I would prefer a community, I would prefer a community a little cleaner. The crime numbers have to be way lower. And as I've told you on other videos, I would also prefer to be a little closer into a larger city, a larger metro city. Like when I came here to Eutaw, there's a Love's truck stop, which is right outside the city limits here. Or two, it could be right in the city limits, I'm not sure. But when I came here to do the video, I recorded the video, and I brought a few items at their local grocery store here. And then I just hung out for a little bit just to get a feel of the community. And I didn't have any issues. But then when it started getting dark and I started getting tired, I headed up the street to Love's truck stop so I can get some rest. And also that's where I ate my dinner. And I would say it was probably around 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And this was on a Friday. It was like 10 or 11 o'clock at night when there was like a bunch of people hanging out at the gas pumps. Just hanging out, I don't know. They're just hanging out like it was their driveway or something. And then there were some other people that came into the parking lot driving real fast. There's this one person that was driving so fast he almost hit my van. But there are people driving and they were basically doing donuts and skid outs in the parking lot. Now, fortunately, nobody got hurt. No one's vehicles got hit. But all this was going on for, I want to say, about an hour. And then finally, they began to leave. And then when they left, law enforcement pulls in. And I'm assuming they pulled in and they were just doing some patrolling. So, yeah. Although there are communities here. Although there are neighborhoods here that do appear to be nice and quiet places to live, and I'm pretty sure this community has got plenty of good, hard-working people, but like I said, just due to the crime numbers here, and just due to some of the stuff I saw at the Love's truck stop, I rather, if I was looking for a place to live, this wouldn't be it. So that's that's gonna be all that I got for my commentary. So feel free to interact in the comment section, and if you like these kind of videos, all you gotta do is subscribe to the channel. And while you're at it, just give me a thumbs up to help with the YouTube algorithm. And on that note, y'all have a blessed one, and I will see you guys on the next one.